Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us for our first virtual choral showcase. I'm Johanna Evans, the president of the Choral Arts Foundation of the Upper Valley, and I am thrilled to be inviting over a dozen choruses to showcase their work. For those of you who are learning about the Choral Arts Foundation for the first time, this is a really exciting way to say hello. We have been quietly supporting the choruses of the Upper Valley for more than 20 years, providing small grants to help with concert expenses, helping to arrange for professional development experiences for choral directors, and bringing us together for conferences and performances whenever possible. We've stepped up our efforts this year under COVID-19 because this is an unprecedented time for choruses. It's a real struggle to get everyone together safely to experience music, but we're doing everything we can. We've stepped up our grants program and now have a rolling grant cycle and encourage all choruses in the Upper Valley to apply. We also have been pioneering a driveway choir rehearsal system. We have about 4 or 5 choirs using it, but we hope to bring on more through the winter. It's a little cold rehearsing in your car, but it's still better than Zoom. So in addition to the driveway choir, which has been generously funded by the Byrne Foundation, we're also starting to try to find new ways to bring choruses together, hence this virtual showcase. So without further ado, let's get started. We're gonna kick off with the North Chapel Choir, and Diane Mellinger will introduce her piece. Hello, Diane.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Diane Mellinger, the music director for the North Chapel UU Church in Woodstock, Vermont. Our choir is excited to be part of something collaborative and musical and fun, so a big thank you to Johanna for inviting us. As with other churches, we closed our doors in March and began having our services online. Our intrepid choir members were determined to find a way to continue meeting and singing, and now armed only with our smartphones and earbuds and enthusiastic attitudes, we continue to make music weekly, meeting on Zoom to rehearse and recording and sending individual audio files for mixing on my laptop. We continue to produce regular contributions for our weekly church e-services. Our piece today was actually produced for an e-service back in September. While not specifically holiday related, the message of hope in tough times seems particularly relevant today, with the key phrase being, quote, "I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night." Our church community is electing to continue meeting safely online at least into the spring, and our choir remains devoted to gathering in this new way and making music as best we can. You can access any of our past e-services on our YouTube channel to see previous choir contributions. I think most of us are watching now from our individual homes, but even gathering online is a positive act of being together. I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that I look forward to a future gathering of choral groups that can take place in person. And until then, I wish you all patience and good health and hope for better times. And happy holidays. Thanks.
See Celestial light with twinkling stars adorn. The shadows give perspective on things already known, and the light, although familiar, was only mine alone. Only mine alone. Only mine alone.
That was so beautiful. Thank you for all of the video work that you did to pull that together. The imagery was incredible and paired so well with the music.
Thanks. And a shout out to Margaret Gilmore, who did the cello work for us, and to all my choir people. Thanks so much.
Well, I hope you now have some new fans for the North Chapel Choir. And thank you so much, Diane. And next, I'm going to bring in Patricia Norton to talk about the exciting things happening at Juneberry, or should I say Zoomberry?
Thank you, Johanna. And thank you, Diane. That was so beautiful. So you have one new choir fan. That's me. I'm delighted to be here. I am Patricia Norton. I'm the founder and the director of the Juneberry Choral Program at the Upper Valley Music Center, which is on hiatus right now, and but we are offering a Zoomberry Choral Program instead. The Juneberry Choral Program values every voice, whether you're a professional singer or someone who can't carry a tune in a bucket. We have a space, and we sing a wide variety of music. And we're part of the Upper Valley Music Center, home of music education in the Upper Valley, because we're all about learning and growing. The Juneberry Community Chorus is a huge part of this choral program. We're a fairly new addition to Upper Valley choruses. Our first formal concert was in January of 2017. And like other choruses in the Upper Valley, which I think of as sort of a hotspot for choral music, we take good care of each other and our audiences. And as director, I am just awestruck by the generosity and the hard work of the many, many people who make it possible. Singers, obviously, plus, in no particular order, ushers, artists, cooks, donors, graphic designers, audiovisual, lighting and sound experts, music librarians, section leaders, audiences, composers, arrangers, poets, people who maintain and care for the buildings that we use for rehearsal and performance. It's just extraordinary and beautiful to feel the force of energy that comes from so many people pointed with clarity in one direction to share music. We're about to watch a song from our January 2020 concert in the Lebanon Opera House, just a few weeks before the word coronavirus hit the news. I'd like to give a special shout out to the musicians who played with the Juneberry Community Chorus for this piece. Faith Goodness on flute, Tim Cohen on percussion, and Brenda Sheehan, our collaborative pianist. So in this time of COVID-required distancing, it's poignant to me to reflect on all these connections. And in 1903, Ralph Vaughan Williams was sitting in a pub in Sussex, and he recorded the whole group of pub goers singing this song that you're about to hear. He brought the wax cylinder back to London and shared the song with British classical musicians interested in folk music. And I think its cry of loneliness sings to us still. This is Turtle Dove, a British Isles folk song arranged by Linda Steen Spevacek.
Must be
Wow, that was wonderful. We had some props given out for how many risers you managed to fit on the Lebanon Opera House stage. Dan was impressed by that. What's it like performing in the Lebanon
It's a
Opera House?
beautiful space, and there's wonderful support. Joel and Joe and the whole crew there is just extremely supportive. It's a great space to be in. And we put the risers on the floor of the pit, and then we had the piano and 2 levels of people up on the stage with us with a support, what do you call it, a platform. It was a wonderful time. Thank you, and thank you so much to the singers, and my singers helped set all that up and take it all apart afterward.
Wow.
Amazing people.
Well, and you're getting some love in the chat from some of your singers, I see. Wonderful for everyone who was able to join us. And
thank you, Johanna.
Best of luck with Juneberry. We one of the projects that we're funding with the Choral Arts Foundation is a commission that for a piece that is meant to be performed over Zoom. Is that right with Juneberry? It's a body percussion.
It's actually going to be recorded in the Lebanon Opera House with the chorus spread out among all of the audience seats and filmed with a drone camera and the sound recorded, and then it will be part of a film that's aired in June, maybe. Watch for the film.
Yes, well, hopefully we'll be able to film it in person with some singing in person, but if not, maybe we'll have another YouTube premiere.
Who knows?
Until then, best of luck, Patricia. Thank you so much for joining us. And now I'm going to bring in Jane to tell us about Bel Canto. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Johanna. Thanks for putting this together. Wow, it's something that I don't think any one of us directors could have pulled off. Bel Canto Chamber Singers has been singing continuously in the Upper Valley since 1977. And even this year with the virus, we've continued, as you heard Diane describe, in a Zoom format and then recording virtually as a full chorus. It's been a real challenge, but people have stepped forward and tried something new. I've had to try something new. Other chorus members, Ken Muncie and Tom Hall, are helping with the mixing. And so it's a real group effort. Section leaders are making practice tapes for people to practice with. And we're just really glad that we've been able to keep singing. Our piece is called The Ground. It's from the final movement of Norwegian composers Ola Gjelo's Sunrise Mass. The text of the Mass is the traditional Latin, so it will be in Latin, but with descriptive English titles meant to evoke a journey from the ethereal to a more solid, concrete place. The text for The Ground is from the Sanctus and the Agnus Dei portions of the Mass, starting with Pleni sunt caeli, heaven and earth are full of your glory, and Dona nobis pacem, grant us peace. The texture of the music is very lush and rich, strings, SATB choir, and piano. Gjelo's works feature piano. He's a pianist and he likes to incorporate it in kind of a soloistic obligato way rather than just as accompaniment. We really love singing The Ground for its beautiful harmonies and lyric melody and the string ensemble, which just surround you and carry you along. It has a chorale style melody which repeats 3 times in different keys. So just to give you a little roadmap for how it will go, and it's not too long actually, it's like really kind of 3 verses. It begins quietly with strings, choral humming, and piano. Verse 1, the Pleni sunt caeli, emerges up from and returns back to the humming of the beginning. Verse 2 becomes a stronger benedictus and grows and crescendos into an outpouring of emotion in verse 3, the Agnus Dei, which then eventually subsides back into a gentle choral hum for the final Dona nobis pacem, give us peace. We hope you enjoy this recording from our 2018 December concert at First Congregational Church in Lebanon, which is where we've been singing for the past few years. And we really appreciate them allowing us to do our concerts there.
I have to say this was one of my favorite videos to edit together. For the groups that couldn't provide a video recording of the performance, I tried my best to pair with images, and I got to listen to this piece over and over again for about an hour and loved every minute of it. So thank you so much for this incredible piece of music that I never heard before.
Thank you, Joanna. And thank you. It was fun for me to see the video because I had only sent you the still shots of the choir. So I loved seeing that. Thanks for your work on that. Yes, it's the last movement of the Sunrise Mass, and we haven't, taken it upon ourselves to attempt to do the entire thing, maybe at some point. But his music is very beautiful and very emotional, and audiences and singers alike seem to really enjoy it.
Well, and it seems we have a few of your choir members in the audience who also were reflecting on how much they love the piece, Lisa Elder, and a few folks who were really looking forward to this concert and maybe couldn't make it the first time around. So nice to give it a reprise.
Thanks very much.
Well, and thank you, and good luck with everything that the Bel Canto singers are up to, and have a happy holiday, Jane.
Yes, you too.
All right, and next we are going to bring in Mark Nelson, who is going to introduce a piece from Harmony Night. Mark Nelson is a new board member with the Choral Arts Foundation, and so thrilled you can join us today. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Johanna, and thanks so much for doing this. It's been fun. Harmony Night was started about, I think over 15 years ago by Dan Senor. It's an a cappella group. I think its original focus was barbershop. Dan and his family moved down to Florida a couple of years ago, so I started working with Harmony Night in the fall of 2017. This year, we ground to a halt, as did most other choruses, in about March. And then in April, started doing Zoom rehearsals, which were surprisingly effective in teaching parts, even though it was frustrating and not hearing an ensemble at all. So finally in the summer, late June, I found an empty field nearby, and I proposed that Harmony Night gather in that field for a socially distanced rehearsal. And I still have extraordinary memories of that day when we got together and said, oh my God, we were singing together. It was wonderful. So we rehearsed over the summer until September, and then indeed we have then hopped on to the driveway choir technology party, and we've been rehearsing on Buck Road in Hanover a couple of times with the wireless microphones and so forth. This song that we're going to hear this afternoon is one called Time After Time. This is not the Cyndi Lauper tune, and it's not the jazz standard from 1946 or 7 either. This is a song written by a member of the Yale Whiffenpoofs in the 1960s. I encountered it in a recording by a different a cappella group at Princeton and fell in love with it. I think it's just extraordinary. And after an unsuccessful search for sheet music, I simply said, okay, I have to transcribe this. So this is a performance from Harmony Night's concert at the First Congregational Church in June of 2018. It was a concert which began at 7 o'clock, and so the church was light shot and beautiful that afternoon. Here's Time After Time.
That was such a wonderful piece. And another one I hadn't heard before. And when I tried Googling it for the lyrics and to find out more, I did find Cyndi Lauper. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it's not well known. I just happened to unearth it from a group at Princeton called Roaring 20. I've actually restored it to Harmony Night's repertoire because I think it's fair to say we like it so much, and it just seems, especially at a time when we're looking for anchors that are giving us some sort of consolation, it's been really a beautiful piece to return to.
Well, and it was such a nice balance with the rest of the program to have a love song. It was really sweet. I see you've got some members of Harmony Night in the chat. Bill Stearns say he couldn't see a thing while he was singing with the sun right in his eyes. Some great concert memories.
No, it was a neat program. It's a great group of people.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mark. Always a treat. And thank you for everything you did. Just a shout out to Mark here. Mark is responsible for spearheading the Driveway Choir project at the Choral Arts Foundation. It would not have happened without his leadership on that. And we're so thrilled, so excited, so grateful. Thanks again, Mark.
My pleasure, Johanna. Thanks, and thanks to CAFA for all the work they've done. I have to acknowledge Dave Robinson as well, who played a huge role in getting this stuff together as well. But thank you. This has been fun.
Actually, I have Dave Robinson mentioned in the thank you cards at the end of this program, but I'll give him a proper shout out here. Dave Robinson recorded many of the concerts that are featured in today's program. So this whole show would not have been possible without Dave Robinson. Huge shout out to Dave. Thank you so much for everything you do for the choral arts. All right. Well, take care, Mark. Good luck with Harmony Night, and have a happy holiday.
Cheers. You too, Johanna. Thanks so much.
All right. Next up, I'm going to bring in my friend and colleague, Filippo, who works with me at the Hopkins Center and is now the director of the Handel Society. Hello, Filippo.
Hello, Joanna. Thanks for having me. So such a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for putting all of this together. And thank you, all of you, for tuning in, and good afternoon. My name is Filippo Ciabatti. I'm the interim music director of the Handel Society at Dartmouth College. The Handel Society was founded in 1807 and is one of the oldest town and gown choirs in the country. This ensemble is comprised of Dartmouth students and Upper Valley community members, and its main mission is to study and perform choral orchestral masterworks. The ensemble is accessible by audition by anyone who's interested. Today, you will watch and hear the last movement of Rossini's Stabat Mater that we performed with full orchestra last fall in Spalding Auditorium at the Hopkins Center. Gioacchino Rossini, the very famous 19th century Italian composer, was mainly known for his comic operas, such as The Barber of Seville or Cinderella, that you all might know. However, the composer decided to retire from music when he was still quite young. And during his retirement, he wrote only two major works, both of them sacred, the Petite Messe Solennelle and the Stabat Mater. The Stabat Mater is a work for choir, orchestra, and soloists, and even if the text is sacred, we can say that the work is organized like a short opera. You can find choral pieces as well as arias, duos, trios. As I mentioned, what you hear today is the last movement of the Stabat Mater, in sempiterna secula, of course in Latin, which Rossini decided to structure as an homage to the past by using the complex and old musical form of the fugue. Rossini, as you'll be able to appreciate, interpreted the fugue in his own personal way, though. He maintained its intricate complexity, but he also added melodic episodes. Melodies were indeed one of the hallmarks of his music. This Rossini was, of course, pre-pandemic, which seems like history now, but even in the midst of this pandemic, as many of our colleagues were still singing, and we've been rehearsing together in a parking lot. Yes, you've heard correctly, as Joanna said, and thanks for CAFA for doing this, for spearheading this initiative. Each Handel Society member sits in his own car, sings into a microphone, and hears everybody else through his own headset. This is really quite an extraordinary effort, and thanks to the hard work of many people that make this possible. This coming Wednesday, we'll have a very fun Christmas sing-along at 7 p.m. that everybody's welcome to attend, of course, from their cars. And through the course of the next few months, we will continue rehearsing Aiden's Creation, a wonderful piece that we're planning to perform once we resume our normal operations, hopefully sooner rather than later. As I mentioned before, we are welcoming new singers. If you can read music and you love to sing in a large ensemble or with an orchestra, or you just want to meet new great people in this area, please reach out to us and let us know. We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for your attention, and now I hope you enjoy Rossini's In Sempiterna Saecula from his Stabat Mater.
In sempiterna saecula,
Wow. You know, it's funny, listening to this reminded me of one of the things I miss most about choral concerts, which is those moments of silence and stillness built into a piece where you anticipate the return of music. You know, I miss singing and I miss the sound a lot, but I also miss those silences.
I agree. It was kind of reliving it with all of you, which was really a treat. Plus, Rossini was an opera composer. So the moment of silence when he quotes the beginning in this very dramatic kind of intersection, it's really quite something. You know, he helped us. He wrote it really, really well.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this piece. I know we have a few Handel Society singers in the audience. Kate Chamberlain, also a CAFA board member, and Joe Shute and Alan Wyman, also on the board and in Handel Society. And I know that they were all excited to.
Yeah. And thank you for kind of, I would like to thank them all for the work they've done in these months. I would like to thank my colleague Irma Mellinger. I'd like to thank all of you for putting all of this together. The Hopkins Center, they usually hosts us in normal circumstances. So thank you. This was really a treat to be here.
Well, it was wonderful to have you. And I hope we can look forward to hearing the creation sometime in the spring.
Yes, that's our plan. But I mean, hoping. We're ready. We're ready. We're getting ready for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck, Filippo.
Thank you, Johanna. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we're going to bring in Kevin Quigley with the Thetford Chamber Singers. Hello, Kevin. Thanks so much
for having us here. So the Thetford Chamber Singers is a chorus of about 36 singers. Sometimes seasons we have a little more, sometimes we have a little less. We're always looking for new voices if anyone is ever interested in singing. We've been around for 42 years. We want to thank the Choral Arts Foundation of the Upper Valley for putting this together. I'm sure the amount of work that goes into producing an event like this is astronomical. So thank you so much for doing that. Human beings have been singing for almost as long as hominids have existed. Linguists and anthropologists credit, many of them credit the development of singing and language as happening pretty much concurrently at the same time. So when the quarantine rules have hit, boy, the people that really lean and rely on singing have been hit hard. So we're so glad to have this opportunity. We're glad for the driveway singing bits and the virtual choruses stuff that is happening. Thetford Chamber Singing is working on a virtual chorus project right now. We hope to go live with that in January. Joanna put together a brilliant programming move. I just want to give her a little bit of credit there. So when we were thinking about which kind of piece to submit, I found the smallest, tiniest little gems, and I submitted a few of those, and she picked just the perfect one of those. So we get to follow the big orchestra and the 50 voices with this tiny gesture, almost familial. So this was from a concert that we did a couple of years ago. It's an American slave song called Poor Little Jesus. It's completely unadorned. It's a straightforward setting. John S. Dixon's setting of this is straight ahead. There's no ostentation, but there's also no punches pulled. It's a simple, peaceful lullaby on its exterior first glance, but then right underneath it, it's a group of sort of owned, stolen people letting this child know and weeping for this child that this is going to be a hard life. It's hard to be here. And your ending is also not going to be so great. And in the middle of that, there is one phrase that for me is the crux of this piece. They summon the power of the gods. They call an invocation to the angels. Sing over this child. And singing in many of those traditions was to impart power into that being. So, poor little Jesus.
Wow. Boy, does that penetrate a human soul?
Yeah, it's amazing how the power of music, whether it's large and powerful, or even when it's tiny, really can get there.
One of the reasons why I wanted to select this piece is I feel like this summer and fall have been very difficult for everyone in terms of processing all of the pain and violence that's happening around the country. And music for a lot of people is a way of processing that and, you know, relieving stress in the body or getting in touch with one's emotions. And this piece to me also spoke to some of that grieving that I've been unable to do without singing. And I hope some other people connected with the piece that way as well.
Yeah, there was a point as a teacher where I realized I needed to come up with a way to really approach the American spiritual tradition from a specific modern context. And I stopped calling them spirituals at that point, started calling them slave songs, because they sang for lots of reasons, not just to worship. And eventually I came up with the 5 W's. So they're to worship, to work, to weep, to while or to wait, and to whisper. And this is one of those weeping songs that just gives permission to a human being to admit it's hard. Oh boy, it's hard.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing this piece. I want to give a shout out to my former colleague, Becky Bailey, who I know sings with the Thetford Chamber Singers, along with a few other folks in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your music with us. Kevin, any last words?
Just so grateful that you guys are doing the work you're doing. It is amazing to find the ingenuity and ways that we are coming up with to make sure that we still get to sing. For without singing, we are not human.
Oh, that's certainly how I feel. And we've now got more than 260 people who have been tuning in off and on during the show who I think agree with us. So thank you so much, Kevin, for joining us today. And next up, we're going to bring in Jennifer Yoakum, who is bringing a piece from the Full Circle Singers. Hello, Jennifer.
Hi, nice to see you. Hello, everyone. I'm Jennifer Yoakum, and I'm the founder and director of Full Circle. I'm so grateful to Kafkov and Johanna for this opportunity. It's and just to hear all these people and see so many familiar faces singing in all the groups is just wonderful. Full Circle began singing together in 1991. We traditionally have 2 concerts a year, with the spring concert based on a theme like modes of transportation, the elements, body parts, food, nature. We particularly enjoy offering opportunities for audience participation, which often include prizes. We have really had some wild things over the years, including karaoke for the audience. I had to really turn them off once they got going, but it was great fun. We've been lucky to have exceptional accompanists over the years: Christiana Whittington, Joe Henderson, the late Scott Smedinghoff, and presently Patricia Norton of Juneberry fame. In the spring of 2019, Patricia invited Full Circle to perform a piece as part of Juneberry's spring concert at the Lebanon Opera House. We sang I Dreamed of Rain by Jan Garrett and her husband, J.D. Martin. Jan Garrett grew up in Colorado and remembers rain being something you could count on nearly every afternoon around 2:30. I love how she describes the effects of rain. That freshness got installed in my DNA, along with unshakable sense of peace and well-being. If there were rough spots and boring stretches throughout my childhood, I have largely edited them out. I remember the rain instead and music everywhere. Everything would be washed clean and the world would start over. Jan wrote the song in 2003, but the lyrics seem even more appropriate for 2020. I think I can speak for all of us in Full Circle when I wish everyone a much brighter 2021, filled with music, humor, and togetherness. I'll see you then.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Jennifer. I briefly considered putting in title cards with the lyrics, but actually your group enunciated all the words so perfectly. And the feeling of the piece is so intimate that I didn't want to break it up by throwing anything in the middle. I found it absolutely beautiful and
Thank you.
transfixing.
It's very thoughtful of you. I'm happy to see all those people. I miss them.
Well, and it's wonderful hearing some love shared back and forth between Full Circle and Juneberry in the chat for the concerts you've shared. That's wonderful to see.
Thanks so much.
Any last thoughts, Jennifer? Anything we can look forward to with Full Circle in the near future?
We have not been doing, I got a puppy. That is, that's all I can say. I don't have time for anything else. And I'm really not smart enough for all that other stuff. So my fingers are crossed that we will meet again very soon in person.
Well, hope to see you on the other side of this in person. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Have a great holiday. And next, we're going to bring in, looking at my list, Dan. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
I'm happy to be here, coming to you on this cool medium. And I want to tell you a little bit about what we're up to. I'm Dan Falcone, and I direct the North Country Chordsmen of Hanover. We are a chorus of about 20 bass clef singers that love barbershop harmony and the camaraderie that comes from singing together. I love that the Choral Arts Foundation has invited these choruses of the Upper Valley to increase the camaraderie that we feel. The Chordsmen have been rehearsing on Zoom for the initial part of the pandemic, but Bill Stearns, a member of VoxStars and Harmony Night, had heard about a way for folks to sing using microphones and transmitting the mix over a radio signal, now known as a driveway choir. The song that we're singing here was recorded just last month using that audio system, so we're singing masked and far apart in Plainfield's Town Hall or outside in our cars. You'll see the backdrop of Plainfield Town Hall was painted by Maxfield Parrish. The piece we'll be singing is the children's medley of Jolly Old St. Nicholas and Up on the Housetop. We also invite some guests to sing with us for the holidays, so you'll see some other folks in there. Now here's a little secret. We are lip syncing in this video if you're wondering where the microphones and headphones are. Take it away.
It's time to hang the stockings by the chimney with care, and hope that good old Santa Claus soon will be there. Jolly old St. Nicholas, lean your ear this way. Don't you tell a single soul what I'm going to say. Christmas Eve is coming soon, now you dear old man. Please whisper what you'll bring to me, tell me if you can. Johnny wants a pair of skates, Susie wants a dolly, Nellie wants a picture book, she thinks dolls are folly. As for me, my little brain isn't very bright, so choose from me, dear Santa Claus, what you think is right. Up on the housetop, reindeer paws, out jumps good old Santa Claus. Down through the chimney with lots of toys, all for the little ones' Christmas joys. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click, click, click. Down through the chimney with good Saint Nick. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the housetop, click, click, click. Good Saint Nick.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that arrangement before. I hadn't heard it done by a barbershop quartet a huge group. How many singers ultimately were you for that piece?
Those people that you saw in the video, that's how many that was.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were sort of implying there might have been, like a squadron of 100 or so.
Well, unfortunately, during the pandemic, some of our members haven't been able to come out and sing with us, even with the driveway choir. We have some people stranded in London and Chile, so we see them on Zoom, but we're not able to see them there. But I did want to tell the folks at home that what you're hearing in that video is what you hear in the headphones and on your radio.
That's really incredible. I mean, the amount of work that went into the laboratory of the driveway choir, you, Bill Stearns, Mark, Dave Robinson, I'm so glad, I actually was going to ask you if that was a driveway choir special, because I was hoping we'd get a chance to show it off for people. So for all of you who are considering some caroling opportunities with us, we'll get the info up on the Choral Arts Facebook page in the next couple days so that you can get in touch with anybody. But that's what it sounds like. It's that good.
And just to give a shout out, we are going to be a driveway choir in concert on 12/12 at Wellspring Church in Lebanon. So you drive around their church and they have a nativity scene going, and then you'll tune your radios to 90.1 FM and you'll hear us singing from our cars.
Wonderful. Oh, that's so great. Well, I hope some of you out there can make it. So, Dan, what's next on the jukebox?
Okay, so Joanna, we also have another chorus that's part of the Hanover chapter of the Barbershop Harmony Society. It's a mixed chorus called the VoxStars that sings contemporary a cappella songs. We just started the group a year and a half ago and are happy to find that there were singers that wanted to partake in this kind of singing community. This also was recorded live last month. Some of the singers recorded themselves singing along on video and then sent that to me, so I was able to incorporate that into the footage from the town hall. The song we submitted was from Frozen 2, and it's called Into the Unknown, which seems an apt description of where choirs are venturing during the pandemic.
You're just a ringing in my ear, and if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm knocking at your calls. Forget my adventure, I don't need nothing new. I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown.
So I had just gotten that song stuck out of my head when you shared this piece with us, but I like your version better. I think the a cappella remix is catchier than the original. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I thought you did an awesome job with this.
Thanks, Joanna. Yeah, we really love that piece. I did it in a virtual chorus through the Barbershop Harmony Society over the summer, and I was like, we got to sing that in VoxStars. And so I am so pleased with my group. They learn music pretty quickly, and they also have a dramatic aspect to their personalities as it came across in that video. So a shout out to my featured folks there. It's just fun to put that song there, and you can really emote it, and it covers a lot of feelings right now for us.
Yeah, well, and it's, upbeat, exciting. One of the things that's been great for the Choral Arts Foundation is that necessity is the mother of invention feeling, and focusing on that helps to make the uncertainty, the unknown, a little less terrifying and a little bit more fun sometimes. Anyway, I think you captured that energy perfectly in the piece. Thank you so much for sharing. Any last words, last shout outs?
Nope, 12/12 at Wellspring Church, and we're also going to have one in Plainfield on the 19th, I believe. Whatever the Saturday is in December, we'll have one outside the town hall. You can come and listen on your radios.
Wonderful. Well, looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Dan. So next up, we have Cantabile, and Kathy was unable to join us to introduce the piece live, but she recorded a lovely intro here.
Hello, and happy holidays to you all. My name is Kathy Sherlock Green, and I am here to introduce the women's choral ensemble of the Upper Valley called Cantabile, and to tell you a little bit about our selection for this afternoon's showcase. But first, I would like to just say thank you to the Choral Arts Foundation of the Upper Valley for making this possible. It's I always appreciate the people who put these types of things together during COVID, because we all know that there are so many things that we can't do that we want to do. And then there are people who say, but maybe we can figure something out. And then they actually figure it out and make it happen. And I'm just really grateful for that. So we have for you today a song called A Winter Ride that we performed in our last concert that we did before COVID in January. The concert was called Words of Wisdom. And so there was a selection of wonderful texts, poetry, excerpts from Anne Frank's diary, sacred words, prayers, Native American prayers, just anything that struck me as wise and profound. Our composer is Joan Simcoe, and she is a wonderful, highly regarded American choral composer. She lives in Portland, Oregon, where she also directs a 100-voice women's choral ensemble called Aurora. Yes, Aurora, out of Portland, Oregon. She has written over 100 choral compositions. Many of them are for women's voices. And I always try to feature contemporary composers who are composing music for women's voices today. And she's one of them. She has set a text by Amy Lowell, who was a poet who lived in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And her poem called A Winter Ride captures the rush, the exhilaration of riding a horse through a snowy field on a bright, brisk winter day. There are those experiences, often in nature or in the wild, when physical boundaries disappear and one loses oneself in a joyful timeless realization of oneness. I especially love the line in the poem that goes, "Everything mortal has moments immortal." That was what moved me to include this on our program back in January, and it seems fitting now. It's also a piece that has a brilliant piano accompaniment because we love to feature our wonderful musician, collaborator, accompanist, Gene Chambers. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should tell you. I think that's it. Again, thank you so much. We miss singing together, and we miss performing for the wonderful people who come to our concerts. So while we've found some ways to connect Cantabile over the last few months that aren't quite the same as what we used to do, they've given us something to go on. We haven't yet connected with the people who used to come listen to our concerts. So we are grateful for this opportunity. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much.
That was such a wonderful piece, and I have to agree with Kathy that the line "moments immortal." Oh gosh, sorry. Now that I've been listening to enough choral music, I'm losing my words, and I'm just starting to well up with tears. So forgive me for not being very articulate at this moment. Thank you so much, Cantabile, for that beautiful piece. That sense of running and being full of possibility and connected to the earth is a theme in choral music that we in the Upper Valley love to explore. And hopefully if we get together again for another joint concert in person or virtual in the spring, we can feature more pieces like this about our connection to the earth and the joy that that can bring us and how music can help us find that feeling. So thank you so much to everyone in Cantabile who tuned in today. And with that, we've got just a couple more groups left. I'm going to bring in Susan now to introduce two more choirs. Hello, Susan.
Hi, how are you doing?
Great.
Hi, I'm Susan Canciobello, and I'm going to the first group is going to be the Jubilate Singers of the Upper Valley. And first, I would like to say thank you to Alan and Joe, who I know got the ball rolling, and their energy and passion for singing was a force behind creating this group and making it possible for us to go to the Song Festival in Estonia. After learning and knowing how meaningful the music is for the Estonians, it was truly an honor to be a part of this festival. The festival grounds were the site of the Singing Revolution, which took place in 1988, which helped Estonians to win their independence from the Soviet Union. We sang at this site with more than 25,000 singers on stage at the same time, and the audience had over 100,000 people. It was really difficult to choose a song because all the songs became our favorites. But today I hope that you will enjoy the singer singing Muisama Ominu Arm, which means my fatherland is my love.
Sulla
Wow. So I can't believe that you and Joe and Alan and the Jubilate singers all went over to Estonia and represented the Upper Valley on our behalf. Like, wow, congratulations.
We had over 27 singers, so I've seen familiar faces. So a lot of the people that are here today actually were able to go and attend, family members. It was truly the chance of a lifetime. And especially we got it, we did it last year. So things are so different now. And hopefully in 4 more years, because they have every 5 years, who knows, maybe we'll be going back.
Well, in the meantime, we'll just have to have our own little song fest here in the Upper Valley. We certainly have enough choral talent and enough singers to pull together a huge show of musical love. I know that Joe and Alan, when they came back from Estonia, they were like, we have to do this here. And this little virtual showcase is, our baby step towards that goal of an in-person song fest here. So what do you have next for us, Susan?
The next group is called the New Hampshire Troubadours, and this is a group that I started in 2005 because I was interested in doing a madrigal feast, which we did at Colby Sawyer College to raise money for the school systems here in the Kearsarge district for the music programs. And this is actually our 15th year anniversary. We have 14 to 16 singers. We specialize in a cappella madrigal music. The song I chose today is called A la Nanita Nana. It's a traditional Spanish lullaby for baby Jesus, and it's on our Christmas CD called Christmas at Epiphany, which was recorded at Epiphany Episcopal Church in Newport, a lovely small church with amazing acoustics, and a shout out to our one and only David Robinson, who recorded that for us. The Troubadours, we've been continuing to rehearse in my driveway using the driveway system. And I put on my yellow vest to park everybody so everyone can see me, and we're still singing. And we hope you enjoy this song.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much for putting this all together for us.
Well, and good luck with the driveway choir rehearsals for the New Hampshire Troubadours. Glad to hear that's working out. And good work on the yellow vest. We'll have to add that to our list of supplies for the driveway choir.
Has one. She has one. I've seen her in it.
Perfect. Well, thank
you.
you so much, Susan. And any last words for your choirs?
Happy holidays, everybody, and take care. Stay safe.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Susan. All right. To close out this program, I'm going to invite one of the choir directors in the Upper Valley I've known the longest, Henry Denner. Hi, Henry. How you doing?
Wonderful. I'm here in Hanover with our son, Finn.
Perfect. So you ready to close out this program?
Sure. I love that the last piece is a project that a lot of members of local choirs came together to complete in the summer of 2018. It was a concert at the Mary Keene Chapel, which is in Enfield, and we'll share the Kyrie from Viern's Messe Solennelle. Vierne was the blind head organist of Notre Dame de Paris, and this piece was first performed in 1900. And Hal Sheeler's directing. I'm at the organ, and I think Mark Nelson made this recording. So thank you, Mark. And I'd like to thank everybody for listening today. This was so great. I miss you all.